Not sponsored by 'Tis the Season Celtic Christmas, although I'm advertising for it anyway because I use the music in my video. And just as a small note, that is not exactly like the case that I have, but it's really close. So, yeah, 'Tis the Season. Celtic Christmas. Enjoy. Hello! Welcome to the latest monthly calendar. Well, now it is finally the month of December. And so, December, you know how usually I was doing like Christmas movies and everything for every December, but I hadn't found a Christmas movie that I really wanted to do for this December, and I actually made up my mind early on that I wouldn't be doing what I normally did. I decided this December I would do something different. And so now, welcome to my 89th calendar, December 2016, the last month of the year, Celtic Christmas. Well, sort of. So when I decided to do this calendar, I have never been to Scotland, so, I was sort of just going like, okay, this would be cool to do Scotland for Christmas, because, for some reason, Scotland just seems like a place you'd go to for Christmas. So I was like, I'll do a Celtic-themed Christmas calendar. It would be like Scotland, Ireland, those places. So I tried to do that, but, I was a little worried, like, I didn't know exactly how to go about the calendar. I just wanted to capture the feeling of, like, Scotland and Christmas, and so, I'm not sure if all these pictures are directly related to Ireland and stuff, but yeah, I didn't know what to capture about it, but I think the reason I had first, felt that Scotland was the perfect place for Christmas was, maybe after Christmas parades, well, Ireland too, but after Christmas parades, there was, like, this Irish pub that Mom's CMA group would go to, and, it just seemed natural, and then, pretty much, and then a few months later, not a few months, a few years later, we went to the Christmas parade, and about that time, we had got a Celtic Christmas CD, which you're gonna be hearing a lot of in the background, and, that just sort of filled the whole idea of Scotland and Christmas, and I don't know, it just seems perfect. And then, there's this Alex Rider book that also it was more New Year's and stuff, but I read it around Christmas time. It took place in Scotland. Yeah, it just seemed supernatural. So, as I was doing this calendar, I was like, what exactly would Scotland look like for Christmas? Oh yeah, there was also this one place at Rocky Mountain College. I don't know exactly what kind of design it was. My sister said Scandinavian, but it also could have been, like, Celtic maybe. I'm not sure, but, like, it had a lot of, like, plants brought in. It just looked so traditional, and I wanted to get back to a traditional style Christmas, so this is sort of Celtic Christmas, but in a way, I tried to do, for the most part, I think it's Celtic, but there might be, like, some other stuff that I'm not sure about. So yeah. So it was my whole idea, right away, when I decided to do this, that, it just seemed natural. And so it was gonna be that way, that I would just do a very natural calendar, but I didn't know what natural would look like for Scotland, and I don't know, I use the word natural, I just was saying stuff. So, unfortunately, I did not know how to go about this calendar, and that's why it came out so late. But I was doing research on Scotland and Ireland and stuff, and since they're sort of islands, they sort of are mild temperatures all year round, so although there's snow, there's not as much, so I don't know, there's still some snow, so I'm guessing that was something good to go on. One thing that I was really looking hard for was, on the Celtic Christmas CD, I know this is a weird thing to go by, but I saw some berries, not just from that, but, you know, berries everywhere. And I was thinking they're cranberries since, you know, you eat cranberries around Christmas time. But unfortunately, I ran into a small problem. Every time I was looking for cranberries, there just wasn't something right. So, I mean, I did put cranberries here. Yeah, I put cranberries here. And so that looked nice. And then I made my own special cranberries for hair. But you know, it just didn't seem like I was getting what I wanted. So I don't know what exactly I searched, but somehow I ended up getting these berries, which is exactly the kind of berries I was looking for. I don't know if they're cranberries, but yeah, I don't know how I got that. Maybe I was searching Christmas, I don't know. But it was a clip art, and I was like, cool, this is what I was looking for. And so yeah. So I was getting pictures very early on because I didn't know exactly what to look for, what felt Christmassy and all. So yeah. So I was looking for pictures early on, and yeah. Right now I'll go and mention the background. Okay, so this background is a sort of green, because, you know, there's sort of just this really awesome, you know, Scotland has a lot to do with the color green. It sort of fades from one green to another, and then I decided to do a little bit of, you know, a certain color hair, and mostly the inspiration for that was wood. I don't know why, but I tried to remove it, it didn't look right. I hope it looks right now. It doesn't look too bad, I'm afraid it looks a little bad though, but, you know. And then, here, I also decided that, although they're not like a fully snowy place, like maybe the Alps if I had done those, I decided it was time to do these very special, awesome, you know, snow, like frost, at the corners of the calendar. It's hard to see, it's soft edges, so yeah, which I had done on my Inside Out calendar, soft edges. It's pretty cool, actually. And so, I did that. I did this one first, the other side, which is hard to get. This one looks more easy to see, I guess. This one is more lighter. I don't know why. Maybe it's the color they're up against, but yeah, they both are soft edges. Yeah, it was a good idea, I thought. So yeah, to do the little frosty bits to it, just to give it a little frosty feel. So, the text font, I haven't experimented with text font lately, but I've continued using the shadow that I've been using for a while. But yeah, this is frozen. Yeah, so I used the text font that I usually have used, which is the, which for these kinds of calendars, which is Old English, even though this is supposed to be Scotland. But yeah, it looks sort of like what I was going for. And then to go with that, let's see if I can get this to come out. This is frozen and not working. Let's see, whole page. Oh man, not responding. Yeah, whole page. And then, I don't know why, but yeah, also for the days of the week, I had decided to do similar things and everything. Well, it's a different text font, but I felt that looked Christmassy, and it went with the Celtic Christmas. You know, I don't know why, but it just seemed like, even when I was younger, like, I thought about, when I think about younger Christmas, I even think about Scotland. So, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had much Scotland Christmas. Okay, so, there was another really complicated thing that I had to do. Okay, so I didn't know, I had finally decided what I was going to do up here. But there was a problem with the text box. And that is when I decided I had to do something quite interesting. Okay, so Actually, I can go over that later on. But yeah, so I had figured this out. These pictures, though, were added later. But when I started adding pictures, I was like, I want them to be framed, sort of like maybe in a Scottish castle. I'm not sure exactly if they have them framed in Scottish castles, but yeah. So I looked up Celtic, picture frames, because I didn't want it to be non-Celtic, but I don't know what I came up with, so I came up with this. I don't know if that's exactly Scotland-like style, but yeah, it's sort of like clovers and stuff. As you'll see, there's clovers all over the place, and it surrounds a few of the pictures, maybe just two. Here is supposed to be, Edinburgh or whatever. I think it's Edinburgh, or somewhere in Scotland, on New Year's Eve. Now, I was thinking, well, that could be a problem, because this looks like, you know, sort of wintry, but it's New Year's Eve. Well, quickly, like, almost as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, New Year's Eve is still technically part of the 12 days of Christmas. Because you know how the 12 days of Christmas go. They start December 1st, and they go all the way till January 6th. So, this is more like, I think, the 7th day of Christmas. So I was like, yeah, I'll go with this. And so, yeah, I did that, and was satisfied. It looks nice, too. Here is something that really should make you feel Christmassy. It's a bunch of candles and, you know, Christmas cups and wreaths and stuff, and it just looks nice, and I felt that this was a really nice picture to add to my calendar. There's a picture frame. I don't know how Irish or Scottish this picture frame seems. But yeah, it still looks nice, I think. And then down here is a clover. Here is, in another picture frame, a picture of a snowman dressed all the way for Ireland. And it looks like it's a Christmas tree ornament, and yeah, I was like, okay, let's do this picture, because, you know, it sort of gave the whole snowman idea and gave it a little bit of an Ireland feel to it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this one. And he looks like he's delivering presents, or whatever. So, delivering presents, a snowman. Yes, it's a Christmas tree ornament, but it just felt like it accomplished what, you know, you want. And then here, surrounded by a few, woody stuff or whatever, or leafy stuff, maybe pine branches, is what anybody would think when they think of Scotland during Christmas. The Christmas Scotland Marching Band. Yeah, so if you go to mini parades, you'll probably see these, but I'm pretty sure the picture, at least, that I got this from said that it was actually somewhere in Scotland, so I'm gonna hope that this actually was a picture from Scotland. They have the American flag, though, but, you know, they're a marching band, and this is, you know, they're playing their bagpipes and stuff, and that's what many people probably think of when they think of Celtic Christmas. Here is, in a picture frame that you've already seen, here is a Christmas tree, and somebody's house decorated. This is specifically, I know, of Scotland. I put this on the last month's themed picture of the month, even though I found a better picture similar, so I put this, but I had to put this one, because, you know, I previewed for this one, and so yeah. So I had to keep this one, and I decided that, you know, I put this one, it's a fireplace, it's Christmas decorations and everything, and so hopefully that feels good. And then here, like I was saying, is the cranberry kind of thing that I was looking for. And then here, surrounded by this one picture frame, is a Yule log. I was looking for Yule logs. There's no known cultural significance to a Yule log. I mean, they don't know why people did them. This was before Christianity reached, Christmas, and so they did Yule logs, I guess. But there's no telling why they did it. But, you know, it still looks pretty cool. And so, yeah. So I decided to do that. And then here we got a couple of clovers, I guess. They just seem to fit. Yeah. Here we got a line of 3 of these cranberry-like things in a row. Yeah. And then here, surrounded by a new picture frame, which is just flowers and leaves, which flowers might be a little cool, is a small Christmas tree right in the middle of a forest. Now, I thought this picture seemed like, you know, a Christmas. It just seemed like cold, but yet, you know, at the same time you get a bright Christmas tree out in the middle of a giant pine forest, and, you know, it's just a sweet picture. I don't know if I would call it sweet. And then here we have, a lock. Oh, what was the name of the lock? I don't know, but this is a lock in Scotland. You know, like, Loch Lomond, I think, maybe? And so, you know, there's, like, the Loch Ness, Loch Lomond, so I was like, yeah. And it was snowy, and it just looked cool. So I decided to keep it. I don't know exactly if this is Celtic, but it's a star and stuff, and yeah, I decided to put this one. It was what I found when I searched for Yule, not like Irish or Scotland Christmas, but just Yule. And here we have the other picture I was talking about. This one was really what I was looking for like, Christmas in Scotland. It just captured the feeling of the Christmas tree, the colors, the wreath, the fireplace, and the windows, I guess. And so, yeah, but it wasn't as a replacement for this one, which this one's also nice, but, you know, it was really this one that I was looking for all along. And so, yeah, that's the top part of the calendar. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. So, when I started doing my text box, I was like, let's see. I wanted it to be sort of like, after a while, I was like, what can I do now that I've already done the top? So, I decided it was time to do a chimney. Oh my goodness, what did I do? That should not be that layer. Okay, now I know what I accidentally did. Sorry, that was not intentional, but one thing that I really need to do is format, thin backward. Oh man. Thin backward, there we go. Now I can thin this backward. I know I don't usually edit, oh no. No, okay. So, sorry. Editing problems. Something happened, but, you know, it'll work out, hopefully. So, let's see. So, I decided I was gonna do a chimney. And you'll see here that when I did the chimney, I wanted these to go over the edge, and it didn't work out that way, and the computer froze. And so yeah, okay, so this was gonna be the top of the chimney, so it would stand out a little more off to the side and stuff, and yeah, this is not working out that well. But yeah, and then one thing that I really had to do was each and every one of these bricks had to be specially colored and filled in with, well, you know, I couldn't find a fade that worked or a shadow, so, you know, I decided that I would fill them in, make them look like they were a little bit scraped like an old chimney, like stuff had collided with them and stuff, and so, you know, the top part is a lighter, you know, color, and, yeah. This is sad, though. And so all of these are sort of like just, you know, I actually decided afterwards to do a bevel, and this is not working that well. Yeah, not responding. It's gonna fade to white again. I'm sorry. I'll come back in a few seconds. So, it's not gonna work, but yeah, so the thing I did was every single one I drew individually. And so, you know, I drew each of these shapes individually, like, and maybe I did a little bit of line dragging too, but you know, I did a custom shape and everything. And so you'll see that the style hair, the top ones are sort of, you know, a lighter color, and then they get a little darker for the lower down part. And let's see, this is not gonna work, but, let's see, whole page. Whole page? Now, I will reveal that last month's theme just happened to be Finding Dory. Now, I chose this picture for this calendar just because it was the closest one I could find to the background hair, which was, you know, this background hair could have been the closest to a chimney. It's not really close, but yeah. So, I kept the same style and everything. Let's see. Next month's theme is to be revealed soon, which basically means at the end of this video. Here we have the 29th, the 30th, and these are from November. And now, on the 1st, is officially the start of Christmas month. Now, you may wonder what Christmas month is, and so yeah. Well, it's this month. Okay, so, this calendar is probably going to end up on YouTube this day. Here we have, an amazing number 3, and, yeah, each of these, you'll see that each of these is sort of specially done, but the interesting thing is the further down it gets, the more scratched and, you know, the more texture there is. So yeah, it's sort of interesting that these get more texture lower down because, yeah, because, you know, sometimes people kick chimneys and stuff, I don't know, but the lower down it gets, the more collisions it gets with stuff, I guess, probably. And so, yeah, some of these are older too, so the newer ones probably have better graphics. And now, you are entering inside the fireplace. Now, the fireplace, which starts with The Secret Life of Pets and Jason Bourne on DVD on the 6th of December, you get one thing. Okay, so the fireplace was supposed to be darker than the rest. But one thing that the fireplace did was the fireplace wouldn't just be any normal fireplace. I mean, it would be. But it would have to be where these all looked like they were further back, because, you know, the opening of the fireplace is further back. And it would have to be a darker color, and, you know, the other bricks would have to look like they were overlapping to make it look like it was inside the other bricks. And so, yeah, each of these bricks is heavily smeared from, like, coal from fires and stuff, and, you know, smoke, because, you know, just how fireplaces are. And so, yeah, some of these bricks go further out than they look like they go out, though. But yeah, it's sort of funny, I guess. Yeah. And then, on the 7th, there was, and you'll see here that I also added these lines. Looking at some pictures of Irish fireplaces, I found sort of like, you know, you'll see later. But yeah, the fire here is clip art. I actually overlapped the same clip art 3 times and made it look like that. On the 7th was Pearl Harbor Day, and I'm really sorry about this. maybe the computer just has too much to process on this calendar that zooming through it at super fast speeds is too much. This is going to be a long calendar, and I'm going to be late for an appointment because I thought it would be quicker to make. But yeah. Here I am, once again, trying to attempt my calendar. I mean, I had to pause for a little while, so sorry. It's like, you can see it's 7:27, and I hope I'm not annoying anybody, like, if anybody decided to go to bed early. But, yeah, so Pearl Harbor Day was on the 7th, which is a frowny face day. On the 8th, this one doesn't get quite the same frowny face, but somebody I know named Miranda has surgery. She has to get part of her tonsils removed, or her tonsils removed. So yeah, that's a little dramatic. Oh yeah, speaking of the fireplace, which I was speaking about a long time ago, I also, since I was doing a nice little fire, like there's a little bit of a background with some soft edges. You may notice it's like a yellowish color, like for the fire, you know. I wanted the fire to have a light, and it shines a little bit off the bricks. Yes, I'm holding on. Miranda has surgery for way too long. But you'll see here that, the fire is sort of like heading onto the bricks, just the right amount that it looks like it fades off. Yeah, so, you know, I think I did nice with that. These bricks, I used GIMP on the bricks to make them, like, splotchy like that, and as I said, each row gets, you know, more whatever. And then another thing I did was, well, what I gotta say is that another thing I had to do was I had to, well, I used this smudging tool or whatever, and then a movie called Ben-Hur was on DVD. This movie was about something I haven't seen yet, but it's on DVD. Also, because this was a Scottish fireplace, I decided to add a little bit of a cauldron. And so, yeah. Well, it was Irish. I was looking up Irish fireplaces, and I found some with cauldron. This is clip art, so I did not design this myself. So sorry about that, but it's pretty cool still, maybe. You know, define cool. Here we are fully in the fire on the 14th. And then on the 15th is the last day of school for the semester. Now, I don't usually like to edit calendars. I did earlier, you may notice, because I had already planned on fixing that. I mean, I never planned on that mistake just popping up. So yeah, that was, but the date box is free to be edited. Semester. For last day of school for semester. For the semester. And it's not responding again. This is hours later, but it's sad. So yeah. It's getting pretty depressing. And hopefully you're skimming over this, because, yeah, you don't have to watch hours of me waiting for it to work. Although you can listen to more Christmas music while waiting. That's always an option. Oh, and then there's an extra space. I don't know why, maybe it just has a lot of data, I don't know. This calendar was complicated, but, you know, I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Hopefully I didn't go too far. I scrolled over maybe a bit. And now, on the 16th, Star Wars Rogue One is in theaters. Now, this is a Star Wars spin-off movie. Yes, it's being released way too soon after Star Wars Episode 7. Because, not necessarily because, you know, it's too soon after Star Wars 7, but 8 hasn't came out yet, so people are gonna, they're gonna be excited for this one instead of where their attention should be focused on, which is Star Wars 8's excitement. But could still be a fun whatever, but it will take away from the excitement of Star Wars 8, so it should be released after Star Wars 9, but it's too late to go back now. 20 years from now, it won't even matter. And then on the 17th, if it'll load, well, visit Montana. I will be home. I'll be home for Christmas. I sung that butcheredly, but yeah, I visit Montana. So I head to Montana for, well, till near the end of January. So I'll be there for a while. So yeah, my computer is not working anymore. I'm sorry. Okay, so I am definitely having a hard time because I just recorded this, but the computer died as soon as I had quit recording, and yeah. So, sorry, but yeah, it finally reached the 18th, which is the day I'm going to be on the bus, and on the 19th, I arrive in Montana. I'm going to arrive super early in the morning. I am going to go to sleep probably, and the next morning, in the afternoon, we're going to watch Finding Dory or something. In the evening, something, So yeah, we're going to watch Finding Dory. I'm going to convince them to watch it. They're not looking forward to it, but I'm going to make them. Okay, and then on the 20th, Stork's Magnificent 7 and Sully on DVD. Sully is not Kitty, just so you know. Yeah. And on the 21st, we are in the fireplace, but even though we're in the fireplace, it's the first day of winter. And you may not be able to tell in the California or even the fireplace. But yeah, in Montana, I'll hopefully be able to tell. Although you can't always there either. And then it was the 22nd, and we are circling out of the fireplace again. And yeah, it's the 23rd. And now, it is Christmas Eve. So enjoy your Christmas Eve. And the very next day, 25th, Jesus' birthday observed, Christmas Day. Now, I know you're all sad that we have to go on from Christmas Day, though, but the next day is the 25th. You may also notice that here, we finally really smeared the fireplaces on the bottom row. But yeah, it's the 26th. I know it's the moment you don't want to face where Christmas is over, but yeah, this is a really sad time. But it's still part of the 12 days of Christmas, so don't give up Christmas quite yet. So it's the 12 days of Christmas, which that picture of Edinburgh can clearly show you that. So yeah. And so we still in the month on New Year's Eve. So, it will be 2016 will be over and 2017 will be here. And so, yeah, I hope you look forward to 2017. Who knows what will happen. It'll be interesting to see what happens. A whole new whatever. I'll go over that next month. But, yeah. So, basically, I am going to have to go with this. Next month's theme is going to be revealed soon. And when I say soon, I mean real soon. If I can get this to work. Yeah. Okay, delete object. Bam! It's all gone. And so here we go. I'm gonna have to delete this too. I know you love it, but I'm gonna have to delete it too. Sorry. Bam! Next month's theme is... there's a picture there, but there's no label. If you don't know what that is, you may notice there's a rock's hair, to symbolize this. Now, why, you may ask, is it right where it's located? Well, unfortunately, I had to put it in front of the other box, I guess. Actually, I probably didn't have to. I just realized that. But what I can do is, if I can get the mouse to move, which it sometimes doesn't, so as you examine that, wondering what it's from, yes, it's a rocky thing, whatever. My mouse is not moving. This is a really annoying calendar, I bet. Yes, this is probably the most annoying calendar you've got, and you're probably only happy because during this annoying time you get to listen to your favorite Christmas music. That's from Celtic. But other than that, you're probably really irritated at this whole thing. But yeah, since that's not layered at the very back, I have to send this one backwards because this one only has the text box behind it. And so send backwards, and now I can select this, Jesus' birthday. That did not work. Jesus is going to be the whatever. Bring to front. And now, next month's theme, although you probably already know it if you're into that kind of thing, next month's theme is The Good Dinosaur. Now, this has been my, if I can get this to work, my December 2016 calendar. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, have a Merry Christmas, and come back when you're ready for The Good Dinosaur. Okay, bye.